Alright guys, we're joined today by Jeremy Ray, who's going to tell us a bit about Sports Champions on the PlayStation Move. So Jeremy, tell us about the game that you're jumping into here.
Alright, so the first game I'm going to show you is called Gladiator Duel. This is one of the 6 events that's in the game Sports Champions. And I'm going to try to not hit your mic here and see if I can fight a little bit. So I'm using the optional 2-controller option, which has, for me, because I'm a right-handed person, my weapon in my right hand and my shield in my left hand. So I'm going to be using the various types of attacks, low attacks, high attacks. I can do strafing and combine those with various moves to try to get an edge on my opponent here. Meanwhile, I'll be using the shield with my left hand to block his attacks, or I can also try a more difficult move of trying to parry attacks with my weapon, like that.
So there's an element of kind of depth to kind of blocking as well as attacking. Is there any benefit from blocking? Can you kind of follow up with a more powerful strike at all?
Right, so obvious benefit of blocking is, obviously not taking damage, but as you block or parry, you get in the bottom left corner, you see a super strike meter. That meter's going to fill up through blocking and parrying, and when you get that meter all the way filled, you can hit the X button. That's going to trigger your super strike attack, and then on my next successful attack, I'm going to be able to do follow the on-screen actions and do a nice, well-damaged combo. Each one of the characters has different kinds of combos. And depending on where your first strike hits during a super strike, you can have different kinds of super strikes even within one character. Oh, I missed a shield dash there.
So tell us a little bit about your character here and the environment you're fighting in. Is your character customizable, and are you kind of fighting through the story mode here?
So yeah, so right now I'm showing you some of the progression modes we call Champions Cup. There's 10 characters that are available right from the get-go. They're all based on different sports that are not part of the Sports Champions package. So, for example, I'm playing a character named Connor, and he's from a rugby background, and I just beat a character named Jackson, who's from a basketball background. So the different characters, all from different sports, and they all kind of have like that feel to them from those particular sports.
Can you stop and like taunt at all in this? Or,
yeah, I can. If I hide the controllers, character will do a taunt. Obviously, when you hide the controllers, you leave yourself susceptible to being hit.
Are you controlling actual movement of the character here at all, or are you just kind of moving around him automatically?
I can do strafing. I can strafe left. I can strafe right. I can also step backwards. But the forward progress movement is done for you. So you're pretty much, for the most part, what you're concentrating on is attacking and dodging and blocking. So you're attacking and you're defensing.
So obviously you're playing in single player at the moment. I presume this will be 2-player split screen and online as well?
There's 2-player split screen, so there's a vertical split screen, and you can play against your buddies in the free play mode, where you can play against one of your friends or against the AI. And just kind of maybe a quick talk about disc golf in general. The rules are very similar to regular golf for those that are familiar with that, with the exception of instead of having a golf club and a golf ball, you've got a disc and there's a basket. And so the goal of the game is for you to throw in as few throws as possible, get your disc in the basket.
Right, okay.
So the first hole here is obviously one of the easier holes at the start of the game. It's kind of a straight shot, and I can pick one of my different discs. The game will pick what's, for most people, the default disc is going to be what you want. But you can also choose different discs that have different ratings about, like in terms of how far they go and how much their accuracy is. So like a putter won't go as far, but it will stay truer. So I'm gonna make sure I hit you and do here like a throwing disc motion and go for that basket. I threw a little hard, so it's gonna overshoot. Oh, I got lucky with a branch and kept me close to the basket.
So this is a par 3. So no pressure.
Yeah. Let's see how the AI does. And this is another one of the games that all the games have a multiplayer component as well. Depending on the event, there's going to be a different number of players. For disc golf, you can play up to 4 players. For Gladiator Duel, it's a vertical split screen, 2 players at a time. I go for my birdie shot here. It's a pretty easy shot. I can flip it in.
Nice. Saw some of the AI doing the kind of the inside.
Yeah,
arm
you
throw.
can do a forehand as well, or a hammer throw overhand.
And so does it get kind of progressively more difficult? Is wind a factor?
Yeah, the wind's added, which makes it you know, you have to account for that in your throws. Also, that's like the first hole, so it's pretty much just a straight shot. This one, second hole, it's still relatively easy, but there's a kind of a tree in your way, so you kind of want to make a hook around it. So
See how you do.
I can do something like angle the disc a little bit when I release the disc, and that's going to, of course, make it angle back a little bit. So let me see if I can do something like that. And as you can see, it would come around following the true path. And of course, if you angled it the other way, it would go the other way.
Right,
and you can throw it forehand.
Pretty energetic, that one.
Yeah. Each of the AI opponents has a certain personality for him. Kenji likes to throw a lot of forehand throws. Some of them take greater risks. Some of them play a more conservative game. I can try a forehand throw here. I'm not usually that good at it, but we'll give it a shot.
Oh, that's good.
And it's in.
Nice work.
It's a fun game to play single player with all the progression unlockables. It's also a good game to play with your friends. I like it because I think it's one of those games you can have at a party and kind of, you know, maybe have some drinks with your friends and you kind of pass around. Okay, it's my turn. You come up there and throw.
And so how many games are included in total? I mean, we've seen 2 of these.
So there's 6 events, and then within each of the events there's a mini game that is based on the main gameplay mechanic of that one. So for example, I mentioned the Gladiator Duel one. For disc golf, the mini game is there's like these floating rings, and you can throw discs as fast as you want. You can actually use 2 controllers for that game, and you can kind of do like a quick back and forth throws and try to get as many discs in a short amount of time. We're called those mini games challenge modes, and those are all meant to be like really fast arcade experiences. There's an online leaderboard system that will be tracking scores for that, as well as your progression mode. And so we're hoping that, you know, people want to keep playing, replaying over and over again and try to beat their scores for their friends and the PlayStation Network overall.
Cool. All right, thanks very much, Jeremy. Tell us when's the game coming out.
Sports Champions should be available fall 2010.
Great stuff. Thanks very much.
Thank you.